reach any possible level that you want to, you have to know that you can do it first.
Welcome to Brilliance Out Loud. Today's episode is just a little bit different because the person I'm speaking to today is very dear and close to my heart. It's one of my sunshines, Erick Keith Thomas Jr., or who they call EJ. So I'm not just sitting here with a host or an educator. I'm sitting here as a mother, and I'm talking to my sunshine. This conversation is about brilliance, how it shows up, how it grows, and how it's shaped over time, especially for Black boys as they become Black young men. Thank you for joining us today and trusting our listeners with your voice today, Erick Thomas Jr. or EJ. So let's start out. Erick, tell everybody about yourself.
Going on. Glad to be here. I am Keith Thomas Jr., the son of Sheila Thomas and Erick Thomas Sr., born in the good year of '04. A little bit about me. I was born in Albany, Georgia, under my mom and dad. Grew up in the church, moved to Valdosta, Georgia, and now pursuing a bachelor's degree in journalism and mass communications with a focus in media production at the North Carolina Agriculture and Technical State University in Greensboro, North Carolina.
So you say a lot of things with pride. Just in that little snippet, we got a lot of brilliance out of you right there. First of all, you say you grew up in the church, and that just pierced my heart to know that that makes such an impact into your life. Is that part of your brilliance, being raised and being a part of the church?
Absolutely. Having that strong foundation in many different aspects goes into what makes somebody brilliant. With my father being a pastor, growing up in the church, it gave me first a sense of another family, you know, other than just my immediate family or my bloodline family. It gave me a church family and a church home, someplace else to feel a sense of comfortability. And then outside of that, what church is, knowing about the word of God, how he died for our sins, how to forgive others. And that's also goes in being brilliant. You can't be brilliant if you can't look past some things that some may do to others. You gotta stay vigilant in all different aspects of life. That's what I gotta say. Yeah.
So you just trying to make me tear up right now, right? Because I'm hearing all this brilliance just flow out of your mouth. And it's funny because one of the things I was going to ask you is, what is one thing people might not know about you? Yeah, people know you. People know you grew up in the church. But hearing the impact of church on you, it's really brilliant. It's really outstanding to know that. And as a mom, of course, that makes me feel good. It makes me feel really, really proud to know that that has really helped you to be brilliant. But also, I hear your excitement about being in Aggie pride, right?
Yeah. Aggie pride, big Aggie pride to the day we die.
Okay. So tell us why you like, what is it that stands out about North Carolina A&T?
Since middle school, I've always wanted to come here for one reason and one reason only, and that was because of the marching band. If you know me, I play drums and I've been in the marching band since about middle school. Being that I was band heavy, I looked into the music program here and I saw what kind of musicians they bring and what kind of publicity they have. I wanted to reach that scale of musicianship. And I felt like you can only do that at the best institution there is. Being a part of Cold Steel Drumline has always been a dream of mine here. So that's one of the main reasons I wanted to come here. And then even looking further, this is the largest HBCU, which we call it the number one HBCU. There have been so many different influential figures to come from North Carolina A&T. So when you know your history, it just makes you want to come here more.
What was the turning point or remember what happened in 8th grade where you went? Tell that story.
Yeah, we went down there, seen them live and in person for the first time, and I knew that's where I wanted to be from. How crazy the tricks were, how they would toss the drums everywhere, going tossing cymbals through each other as they were walking down the path through the middle of the field. It was just breathtaking.
Yeah, yeah.
So already starting out being a drummer is like, how can they do that? I want to do that. I gotta go there.
Mhm. To be in a marching band, to learn all of the skill sets for drumming and the sticks and all of those things. I figured that, I used to always tell you, that's brilliant. How is that a part of your brilliance?
Being able to adapt and learn new things, never giving up for one. May not get it the first time, but if you try it 5,000 more times, you're eventually gonna get it. So it's always about never giving up. There's so many new things to learn when you're drumming.
Yeah.
It's always something new.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a trick, whether it's a rudiment, which is the beat of the drum, it is always something new.
Everyone has a gift, everyone has a talent, and of course, that's one of your gifts and talents. I was in the marching band. You remember I told you I played the flute.
And you played the flute back in high school.
Like in high school, I was a Doty High School marching band. As a person in marching band, you have to know how to play your instrument and move a certain way and turn and pivot. All of that to me is a part of brilliance.
Right. And it don't just start with everybody think it just starts with the sticks. We may throw our drums too.
Yeah, I know. I see you. I'm in awe. I sit here a lot evenings sometimes. It's like, go back and look and see what you've done or what the band is doing. So I think that's awesome. But now when you hear the word brilliant or brilliance, what's the first thing comes to mind? What do you think when you hear that word brilliant?
I say confidence.
Hmm.
You have to be confident in what you're doing, in anything that you're doing. That doesn't mean that ones that not confident aren't brilliant. I just feel like they have to bring that sense of comfortability out of them. To reach any possible level that you want to, you have to know that you can do it first. So brilliance is comfortability to me.
And I'm loving you saying that you can, because one of my mottos that we learned.
Never give up.
Yes, you
can.
can. Because I'll always be your what?
The biggest fan.
The biggest fan.
Right?
All right. And so, yes, teaching a child confidence is something that parents should do, a guardian should do, is teaching your child that they can try to do different things. So that's, why I wrote that book, Jared's Biggest Fan, because I was trying to teach parents that, my sons tried many things until they found that one thing that built their confidence. And with you all, it was music, and you flourished in your musical career, in high school, middle school, and now in college. I've seen your confidence grow. I remember when you were trying out for the band for North Carolina A&T and how nervous you were. You want to speak on how your confidence grew over time?
Yes. Going into the audition process, I would say I was nervous, but I was prepared. You get a pamphlet of things that you have to play, so it's not like it's a surprise
Mhm.
of what you have to be playing. Just make sure, again, you do it with confidence. Nervousness is human. You're gonna be nervous even if you know it. I still get nervous on shows to this day when we blow that whistle on the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm confident that I know everything in that show and that we practice it 1,000 times.
Yeah, and that's why I tell people I get nervous even if I'm recording a story time here in my room by myself, because I want to make sure I'm always doing my best. So confidence and being nervous is not about being scared. It's sometimes just kind of anxious about being perfect or getting it right. Are you doing the right thing? So I think that's a lot to do with your confidence as well. Let's talk about how your confidence has grown from your early years in elementary school, middle school, high school to college.
I was always active. I was hyper. So I would say I was pretty good, but my confidence got better as I got to high school. Middle school, that's when I moved to Valdosta. So that's when I would say it wasn't more of confidence, it was more of trying to figure things out. But yeah, I get most of my confidence at its peak when I got to about 11th grade. I knew what I wanted to do. That's another thing. I knew what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. Might not have known what was at the finish line, but I knew what I wanted to be next, and I knew that I had to get there. So I say my confidence definitely got pushed in the peak of high school.
How did we support you with building your confidence?
I like that. I like that question. I'm gonna start with you. You know, you're a good steward of positivity,
Mhm.
not a negative person. Everything that she's doing on the platform is true. I remember when I used to get out the car in elementary school. What you used to say?
You're the best and you're going to get better.
Yeah, you're the best and you're gonna get better. That's what you used to say every day. Mama always told me that I was the best. So I'm walking around thinking I'm the best. You know what I'm saying? So that's the confidence push right there. If you got somebody that you're living with telling you you're the best, and you're automatically gonna think, oh, I'm unstoppable.
Mhm.
So parents, always tell your children they're the best, or even somebody that's around you,
Mhm.
you're the best. If you know you have the utmost respect for them, tell them they're brilliant, tell them they're gonna be somebody. It builds somebody else's confidence. You don't know what simple words can make somebody's day or life better. Yeah, you always gave me positive affirmations, so I always thought highly of myself.
Mm.
I thought I was unstoppable. Now, dad, he shows me confidence in a different way. He shows me that you go out and you go get it, and can't nobody stop you from what you want to do,
Mhm.
as a man should. He's a perfect example of a father. And I like that he's had his own life lessons to this day. We've always learned something new about our own selves on a personal level. And that has advanced how he treats others, how he treats the ones in his circle. And it just shows you that, hey, if this man can go do it, he not complaining, I can go do it. I shouldn't be complaining.
I love it. I love it. I mean, you tapped into some amazing things, and so like I say, what kind of mom I was. I was always at the schools and always supporting you. I talk a lot about advocacy, and supporting. So, like you told the parents, it's so important to give those affirmations. To ensure that your son knows that, despite what the world comes against them with, they can have that thought in their ear. My mom said I'm good. My mom said I'm great. My mom said I'm brilliant. My mom said I can. So that is the purpose of always, trying to share with parents those affirmation. I thank you, son, for saying that I'm not just doing this work. It's a lived experience that you experience. That makes it even better. So thank you.
And I appreciate you for not just saying it, but showing up. Like you just said, I appreciate the showing up too. You gotta show up for oneself. You can't just say it and not have actions behind it. Actions do speak louder than words.
I remember a time, look, we're going to get into storytelling, that you were at band practice at Lowndes High School. Do you remember? And you didn't know I was coming to your practice. And I just
That was
came.
track. That was
That
track.
was track. Yeah, that was track. And I just came and parked outside the gate. And you saw me. I was trying to sneak up on you. I was just gonna watch you. And you saw me and you said thank you. It's moments like that that parents have to understand that makes a difference. It's the little things. It's not the purchases, but it's those moments. And then finding out what your child's love language is. I know that you like things, but you like time. When you want that time to talk or to do things, you want it. And I have to give it to you. And when you don't want it, you don't want it, when you want to be bothered. Parents have to get to know their child and what their child wants, needs, and desires are. Again, their love language, right?
Sure.
Right. I have this thing now that I say the brilliant breath, taking a breath. Even with myself, I use that term, but breathing techniques I've learned over the years as you've grown just a little bit older, that it takes, sometimes you have to breathe. You just have to stop for a moment and get quiet and just breathe. So I've been teaching parents through the story time and affirmations to tell their sons to take a brilliant breath, where they take a breath through the nose. Breathe in, hold it for 3 seconds, and breathe out. That's a coping mechanism that helps their bodies to slow down, calm down, and think about what's next without doing something impulsive. How do you handle those moments where you get tense or, anxious about things? How do you cope?
Depending on the situation, sometimes if I know I don't know the right thing to say, I like to get quiet and observe. In those times that I have to go out and speak or do something of that nature, I will do those breaths. I love what you call it, the brilliant breath. Start using that. Yeah, I take a brilliant breath real quick. But you use different many mechanisms, maybe depending on the situation you may be in. Sometimes just taking it slow, maybe stepping away from the situation if it's a situation. Yeah, those will be my three.
We need to write those down because those are some good coping strategies. And I even, as I've gotten older, I've started getting quiet more. I tell everyone right now, I'm in my season. I'm being quiet about a lot of stuff, just and even if you I don't know if you notice, I'm not posting as much on social media. Sometimes you have to be quiet. Mine is intentional. I'm trying to hear the word of God. That's it of my next move and things I need to do. And so we have to teach our sons that sometimes they need to get quiet, take that breath, take a pause. We just need to take a pause. I do it often, just during the day, take a pause, turn the television off just for a moment. I don't want to hear the noise. Just, I need a pause. But a lot of things I do, of course, is music. I love listening to my music. You know,
Same here.
I listen to my music. Now, as growing up, what is one thing that you want parents, especially moms, to understand better about raising a black boy? Because it's different. The statistics about there about raising a black boy and they're going from school to prison pipeline and all those different things. I will share some things that I've learned, but I want you to share some things that a mom needs to know if she's raising a black boy.
Gonna be different, even if especially if you don't have any experience with probably being a mother. And it's gonna be confusing. Most of the time, we aren't comfortable enough to say what's on our mind to our mamas. Because one, we too young. Two, we think y'all don't know. And three, we just don't want y'all to know. So it's gonna be different. It's gonna be confusing most days, other than none.
Mhm. And what I've learned as a mom, the key to a successful relationship with my sons has to be to become a better listener. To become a better listener and then also to step back and let you have your moments. Now that's hard because as a mom, you all are like, this so close to our heart. I mean, no one's above God, but you all are part of us. And so we want to fix everything. But we have to learn that we can't fix it. You have to figure it out, especially when you become older. It's so much harder. But middle school too. There are a lot of things I wanted to fix. And of course, I tried to fix them too. But becoming older and wiser, I've learned that I must listen to you. And when you say you don't want to talk about it, it hurts me to my heart. But you don't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to talk. So I have to just accept those things. So I love what you said about it's different because most girls with their moms would talk and share everything. You as boys don't, because like you said, I love what you said because y'all don't think we know anything. You forget that we were once young too. But as you grow old, I think you've seen that now too, that yeah, mama does know some things, right? Am I right or wrong?
I admit that.
Right, right, right. So what was something as a child or as even now that you needed more of or less of?
That's a deep one because I think I had a pretty decent childhood. I think I had a pretty decent childhood. Off the bat, I can't really think of too much. I basically got what I wanted. I didn't ask for too much.
At
I
times.
really didn't ask for too. If you know me, really, I don't ask for too much at times. Like you say, I mean, I obviously I want stuff, but I don't know. What would you think?
Something that you needed more of?
But that I would probably think I would need more. I know you can't speak for me, but you be knowing stuff.
I'm like you. I think I gave you mostly of everything you needed, the experiences, because nurturing a child, it comes pretty much natural to a mother. So of course I was loving to you. I made sure you was healthy, you were groomed and all those things. But you were exposed to things as well. And that's why I tell parents that having your child to know about things in the world and to give them those authentic experiences that matter. So I think I gave you most of those. So I'm not saying I'm a perfect parent. But I think I did pretty good. I think I did pretty good over.
Hey, you did pretty all right.
I did. But I think, still just being a better listener. That's what I really have learned more. I think your probably junior, senior year is when I really became a better listener. We had a conversation that triggered something in me. And I was like, okay, you know what? He's right. He's right. So I kind of stepped back with you and James both. I had to step back and think about some things. And like I said, I've learned that over the years and then learning to pull back and let you understand that, you're growing, especially now you're 21, you're a whole man. That's hard. When you left home, going off to school, That and when you turn 21 were hard experiences for me, especially when you left for school. You know, because you're 8 hours away. I'm so used to being able to go into the room and say, "All right, what you need, what you're doing, whatever, whatever." But knowing that I don't have you or knowing that I can't monitor what you're doing, or I felt like I was just throwing you out there in the world. Just like, okay, he's done. He's gone. You know, he's on his own now. As an educator, I know that the stage of maturation of young men is usually at the age of 27 when you really start coming over yourself and understanding life. So
Uh,
that's part of it too. So yeah, yeah. Before we wind up, I've known your brilliance all the years, but I want you to finish this sentence for me. My brilliance shows up when.
my brilliance shows up when I may not be too confident in something. Like I said in the beginning of the conversation, confidence is number one key to brilliance. So when I may not be confident in something, make sure to reaffirm myself that I know what I'm doing. Maybe I know why I'm somewhere. Tap into that and tell myself, this is why I'm brilliant.
Okay, I like that. Now, another one. One word that describes who you are becoming. One word.
A star.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a star for sure. And I have to speak that confidently too.
Yeah.
Cause I can play around with it, but I really do want to be something big in this world. So I would say a star.
Yeah. And you know, just a little bit on that, you have a piece of me where that imposter syndrome sometimes creeps in, where you feel like, okay, can I? Should I? Am I? You know, who's gonna listen to me? You know, but I want to continue to build your confidence and knowing that you can do what all things through Christ who strengthens you.
Christ that strengthened them.
Yeah. And
And that's all because we don't try to be hot headed.
Mhm.
That's one thing with me. I don't try and be hot headed.
Mhm.
I'm not that type of person. But I do know that I can go and get anything that I want if I put the work in.
That's the key. You have to work at it. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. Now, the last thing, I want you to sign out by giving some advice to a young black boy who's just trying to figure things out. What's your message for those young black boys who may be listening to this podcast?
Never stop failing. Failure creates success. As many times if you want to go out and get something, you're going to fail. But you have to remember that what is for you, and that one thing may not be for you. It may be a whole another different route that you need to take to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So always remember failure is not permanent either. So as long as you work, you can reach success.
I love it. I love it. I used to tell my students failure is an option. Because in order to learn, you have to fail at some things so you can do it better. So I like that. That's very good. Well, my brilliant black boy, my sunshine, it has been wonderful
Mm.
spending this 30 something minutes chatting with you today. Um, I'm so proud of you, as you already know. I'm proud of you and the things that you're doing and the things that are in your future. Your future is bright. You shine like the stars. Like you said, you will be a star. You will keep shining. Just keep doing the things you do. Keep your head up. Take that brilliant breath. Take a breath. Doesn't it feel good to take that breath?
Feel good.
It really does. And to all the parents who are listening, remember that our boys they're progressing towards brilliance. It takes one day at a time, one moment at a time. Just keep working with them, keep listening to them, and giving them all the tools that are in your toolbox to be successful. We thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Brilliance Out Loud podcast.